So, Star, I gotta ask the tough questions. That's kind of my job,
Lord.
okay? So I gotta dive into the tough questions. So, when you was telling the story about what happened to your daughter, so have you heard from Polo?
Not yet, but I heard about him.
You heard about him? What you mean?
Exactly.
Okay, but I guess some people are gonna question right away. Well, like, if you saw tears on her before, why didn't you act the first time you saw tears on her? So him saying that yours was like a little bit more dry.
Well, that's good. So he don't want it no more because he ain't getting it. I caught her using my mouthpiece of my vape to put the DNA in her. So she used the vape so that when they did the exam, it looked like it was me.
I'm gonna ask straight up, okay? Is it a possibility that somehow, maybe in some type of altered state of mind or something like that, that you did this? What's up, YouTube? It's summertime and things are heating up in Atlanta. Make sure you go cop the merch at AtlantaStreetInterviews.com. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with an update. So how you doing today, Star?
Doing all right. You
all
guys?
Right. I know that's right. So have you heard from Polo?
Not yet, but I heard about him.
You heard about him? What you mean?
That he was around, and then he wasn't, and then he might be around. I don't know.
Well, okay, so I've actually got an update. Someone, a viewer from Cincinnati, called me on a random. Actually, sent me an email first, and they called me. It was like midnight, and told me that Polo is up in Cincinnati.
Well, yeah, found a Mary Poppins or something.
You say what?
Flew away under her skirt. I don't know.
Wait.
Like Tim, my first baby daddy.
So okay, so no, we're not. Doing good, man. How about you, man? But I mean,
can't accuse him though.
I was about to say, why you think he's just always in Cheeks and stuff? Like, he might be up in Cincinnati, like handling business.
The first time I walked up on him doing a video.
What was the first time?
Was clapping and he was under the cheeks.
He was what?
Under the cheeks.
What video was that?
You did it. You don't remember.
I've done a lot of videos.
You know what?
I've done a lot of videos with Polo.
Well, anyway, he was literally almost in the cheeks. You know, the red booty shorts. She had a cute butt.
Oh, you talking about Kelsey?
She had a cute butt.
You talking about that one?
Barbecue.
Look at you. So you know some stuff, huh?
Yeah, a little.
You know some things about some barbecue ribs?
Yep.
Hey man, we have fun out here.
Might make a good rib for you.
Little rib sandwich. Shout out to Kelsey. But okay, because Gabby, I don't think Gabby's heard from him either.
Well, hey, all I can say is this: I'm not judging him, and I'm not comparing him exactly to my first baby daddy. But like, I had the exact same person before. And it's so crazy that I happen to end up in the same situation with like the same person.
You go ahead, brother.
But it's not a lot he can do that can surprise me or like, you know, clutch my pearls type thing. So, and the thing is, I want him to do what he was going to do anyway. Don't change nothing for me. Because if you do, you're only doing it for me. I want you to want to do it. Whatever it is, we're doing. Friendship, whatever the, you know, fuck it is.
So you haven't talked to him since you made the video with me?
No, like, it's probably... Exactly, it's been a month and a couple days, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. So, and that's really about the time frame that this accumulated.
So I mean, have you confirmed whether you're pregnant or not?
Yeah, I did 8 tests and out of those 6 of them were positive.
Okay, so but you didn't go to the hospital yet or nothing like that?
It was too early when I did go, so what I was waiting to do is make sure I had the positive test with me when I go. So I'm going to go do a bunch of them and then have it in their face like, listen, you can't say.
Well, that's not how it works.
Know,
you just
well,
you
they're
go
going to
there,
have to do something.
You go there and they're going to be able to give you a more accurate,
I know, a confirmation.
Right. So, but you say 6 out of the 8 have come up positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is confirmed for the most part that you are having Polo's baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't wait to see what his reaction is going to be. Obviously, he's heard about it. So did you see the video with Gabby that I did when I talked to her about, you know, because she had saw the video where you said that you was pregnant and I guess had, you know, slipped it to him that, hey, this video is out or whatever. Did you get to see that?
No, what I was doing is I was kind of trying to stay out of knowing too much of other people's business because mine ain't going to change whether I know what they doing or not. So I just was like, they've been talking for a year. So what can I even say if he decided to even go back to what's familiar, you know? And just an adult about him, 35. And we got a kid, and we can be friends with a kid, and that be it. It's fine with me. But I just from the beginning was telling him, look, you need to be sure before you do what you're doing, because I got other situations going on that could have something to do with something if we have a kid. Not even on purpose, because, you know, I was not on birth control because I wasn't having sex. So that's kind of what contributed to this too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's scoot over just a little bit. A little bit. We're not in line, sweetie. You can get in line. Okay. All right. So, Star, I gotta ask the tough questions. That's kind of my job.
Lord.
Okay. So
What's
I gotta dive into the tough questions. So, when you was telling the story about what happened to your daughter, a lot of people was, I guess, confused.
I know. It is confusing.
They were confused, and I guess the way that you told it, it almost sounded like there was a possibility that maybe you could have done it, because you said that your DNA was inside of her.
No. What happened is when I walked upstairs, I caught her using my mouthpiece and my vape to put the DNA in her. So she used the vape so that when they did the exam, it looked like it was me, but that's what I could walk upstairs and caught. So before all that could happen, just so happened, there ain't nobody else but God sent me up them stairs to see that. So literally, I caught a setup. So it could have gone that far. And the thing is, people believed for the longest that I could have something to do with it because of my actions. What happened is, actually, I didn't even leave my hometown for about a year and a half. So I didn't just
run right away.
No, heck no. I was trying to do that, like, you know, get her out of the situation with the system or whatever. So I spent 2 years trying to get her out of that situation.
You say with the system?
Yeah.
So she went to defense? Okay,
yeah.
so she went to DSS. I thought because your mom didn't get her right away when that happened?
Well, no. This is the thing. They was trying to figure out who did what.
Okay.
And I was trying to prove it to them with the evidence, but they just kept not wanting to see it.
Well, you say the evidence is when you turned on the camera, but was it...
I got a whole lot of evidence, it's not just that.
So why didn't the evidence work?
They didn't want to see it. We went to court twice and they rescheduled twice. I had an envelope for me and the judge. Exactly.
So
the
what
same
would you say
paperwork.
is the...
I still got the judge's evidence. She never looked at anything.
So what would you say is the most convincing evidence that you didn't do it?
The video. It shows after it happened. This is exactly how it happened. I changed the pamper, took her up to the babysitter, right? Okay. She didn't have any tears in her vagina. Some said go upstairs. I don't know what I was doing. And then when I walked upstairs, I saw the sitter running away from her, covering the vape like this. And then I'm looking, I'm like, what is she doing? And then something said, just get her and go check her bullet. Because I noticed every time I left her with that person, not every single time. Every time I discovered
the sitter,
that,
you mean your mom?
I don't want to say who it is exactly,
okay.
You know.
Okay.
But the thing is, you know, I noticed every time I get her from that person and she had the poop in her diaper, it was because of I noticed the tears were there. So because of the penetration and the pressure going inside.
So you had seen the tears there before?
Yes. And then I called DSS and then we went to an exam. They on paperwork said I didn't take my daughter to an exam, but DSS is the one who took us to the exam. Exactly.
Okay, but I guess some people are going to question right away, well, like, if you saw tears on her before, why didn't you act the first time you saw tears on her?
I did. You're not understanding that. They didn't want to solve it because they knew who was doing it. Okay. Sounds unbelievable, but this is what really happened.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some people that were in the comments saying, hey, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
Right.
Right, and so...
And this could happen to any other young black woman with a kid that they think they can railroad if you don't read.
Let me ask you this.
That's all I did.
What reason would that person have for doing that to essentially her family member? Sounds like her granddaughter, but...
I don't know. I really don't know. And honestly, I was trying to figure it out myself. Like, not to insult this person, but I'm like, is she on something? Like, what the hell is wrong with this person? Because I was trying to figure out every other thing in the world except for being that person. Let's just say that. So that's how much I don't even freaking know. I
So
just
I'm
really
gonna ask
refuse
straight
to
up.
believe it was them.
Yeah, listen, I get it. But I'm gonna ask straight up,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Is it a possibility that somehow, maybe in some type of altered state of mind or something like that, that you did this?
Heck no.
Okay. So I
I'm
gotta
the one that
gotta
called.
ask.
Look, let me tell you. I called Steve Wilkos, the FBI, every police department in any county I lived in, because ever since then, because this person was a sworn in officer of the law enforcement has been trying to attack me.
So you called Steve Wilkos?
Yes, he got me in the email. Gloria Allred in her email. All the CNN, all of them. If I'm the one calling for help, why the hell would I cause all this ruckus if I did this? That's stupid. And I'm still waiting for help, actually. I actually directly went to police departments with the evidence. There's nothing I didn't do. So I did see people ask, why would you give up on your daughter? I've been almost 3 years trying.
So what would you say?
Nobody helped that's supposed to.
So you're
It's
saying
not me.
the most convincing evidence is the video that you're talking about?
That and just like looking at her actions, like what made me notice, she just started doing like humping the pillow and sexual activity.
I get that,
and
but I'm
stuff like
talking
that.
about evidence that you were presenting in court.
Oh yeah. The fact that after that happened, because this is the thing, I kept trying to tell them I noticed this after it's with this person, right? They didn't want to believe it. The not my case, my psychiatrist, therapist, whatever. She scolded me for getting proof and sending her a picture of what I finally said I saw. They kept saying I was delusional until I got that picture of the delusion, which is the tears in her vagina.
I get it, but that also can be considered like child pee.
I get it, but
You know?
this is the thing. They didn't want to see anything I was telling
In
them.
other words, that's not evidence that the person that you said did it.
Well,
That's
it's
evidence that
I
it was
didn't
done.
do it. It's evidence that right after it happened, I turned on my camera and I took her away and I recorded it. Discovery on camera.
Well, I get that, but it also sounds like you discovered the tears in the vagina multiple times.
Right after it came from after she came from being with her.
Right, so why didn't you like freak out the first time you saw
I
it?
did. That's what no
Okay.
one's getting. I called DSS.
But then you
They
kept
took
giving her
me
back to her?
to an exam. They listen. I got the paperwork saying I cannot be with her unless it's supervised from the person who did it.
Yeah, no, I get it, but
See,
it's
that's
just,
what I'm saying.
It's
So
an odd situation.
I freak out. I call for help, and then they appoint the person who I caught doing it to watch me with her.
Well, obviously they believed her over you.
But guess what? They didn't want to acknowledge videos showing that it's impossible that it could be me. Until they do that, then they can't say it
why
is.
does that video show that it's impossible?
Because I saw her doing what she was doing, turned on the camera and said, "Come on, Charlie." And then I'm walking down there and I'm saying, I think I just caught her doing this shit again.
I get it, but that's not...
Well, they sure can't say it was me because I ain't on the camera doing it. And on top of that, this woman said that there's audio and video surveillance in the whole house. I asked them to run the cameras when they got there. She said there's no cameras when the police got there. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It
So if
definitely...
there's video surveillance, show me doing something to my kid. You won't.
I guess
You can't.
I guess the point is though, what makes you think that the video that you have where you're walking away with her and saying, "Hey, I think she just did this," what makes you think that that serves as evidence? Because some people will say, well, you could have just turned on the video and made that video to kind of try to make yourself be innocent or whatever.
Okay, well, why would she use my vape? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are you doing with my vape, putting it in my child's vagina? For what? To make it look like I did what? If I wasn't there.
And you saw her do that, or you think she did
I saw
that?
her.
Saw her do that?
And on top of that, I witnessed this person actually in the act with my child. So there's no denying anything I'm talking about.
What were they doing? What was the act? Like, what do you mean? Putting it in there?
Finger.
Finger? Okay.
So it's nothing that she can say. They can't, I don't care what they come up with. The stuff I got is gonna knock all that shit out. And I've been ready for court. They the one keep rescheduling.
Okay. All right. Well, I had to ask the questions, you know. It's a curious,
I've been really wanting
it's a
to
curious
talk about
situation. It's a very curious
it
situation.
for 3 years almost now.
Okay. So, I got to be a little messy.
It's okay.
Okay. I got to be a little messy. This is part of the platform is just a little bit of messiness. Okay.
It's all right.
So someone had did an interview with Polo. I guess maybe before I left for vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
So earlier in June, someone did a video with Polo. That wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they was trying to figure out why Polo chose Gabby over you. And you say you didn't see that video, right?
No. He got like a goatee, brown skin. I think I know you're talking about.
Right. He was out there, and he had asked Polo why he chose Gabby over you. And essentially, Polo said because Gabby got that Aquafina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Well,
you
a
know?
lot of people know. That's the thing.
How do you know she got the Aquafina?
Because he told me something in particular that let me know she shares something.
Well, Aquafina means that it's like wet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess they were saying
I get that. That's
he
good.
was saying that yours is maybe not as
He
wet.
need to stop complaining to me about what it did to him, man. If it's
You say
that
what is
great,
what? Stop complaining to you about
don't
it?
complain to me about what happened to you when you went in there.
What do you mean?
Talking about how wet it is. I don't want to say that girl's business. But yeah, that's probably why it's wet.
Oh, so you saying Mike got a little drip?
I don't know. All I'm saying is that's good for her, but at the same time, if it was so great, why complain?
Okay. I just wanted to get your reaction
to insult
of that.
her, but sometimes that's why there's extra moisture. Just being an adult and on some sexual education shit.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I got it. I got you.
I'm not even trying to be messy, but hey, they asked what I thought.
I asked you the question, you answered. No biggie.
That goes for any female, not just her or this situation, though. Yeah, that's the truth.
Okay. So him saying that yours was like a little bit more dry.
Well, that's good. So he don't want it no more because he ain't getting that.
He ain't getting that.
No.
It's on lock, clamp.
He ain't getting shit no way.
So you're not gonna melt when he get back. You're not gonna melt like a stick of butter.
I like to stay out of that genital gumbo they got going on.
Oh shit.
Let's just say that.
Genital gumbo.
I feel safe keeping my genitals to myself. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Star. Well, look, listen, we appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions.
Yeah.
If anybody did want to continue to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way for them to do that? Social media, Cash App, anything like that?
It is the name brand, TheNameBrand 007 at Gmail. I mean, not at Gmail.
Yep.
You know,
Cash
Cash
App. I
App,
got
my
you.
bad.
All right, well, like I say, Star, we really appreciate you and definitely wish you nothing but the best, okay?
Yep,
Make sure you have
guys.
a good one, sweetie.
And please keep the hard questions coming because I don't want to miss shit. I've been wanting to go to court. Yes.